Now, for what's tipping the scales of justice, convicted killer Scott Peterson will be appearing remotely before a judge today. His attorneys with the Los Angeles Innocence Project are trying to exonerate him. Now, Peterson was convicted in the 2002 murder of his wife, Lacey, and their unborn son. The LA Innocence Project recently took up the case, saying that Peterson's rights were violated and that newly discovered evidence will prove his innocence. They're now seeking some evidence they say they could not locate after the trial. And this includes evidence from a 2002 burglary across the street from the Petersons' home, a 2002 van fire in the airport district, Lacey Peterson's missing watch, and they're also seeking documents from interviews with several witnesses. So we're wondering, could this status hearing today tip the scales in Peterson's favor? Let's bring in our resident expert, Court TV anchor, Ted Rowlands. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
All right, so what do you think about this? Is this going to really make something big happen for him?
Well, the LA Innocence Project took on his case, and we should note it's not the Innocence Project that we're familiar with that was started by Barry Scheck and Mr. Neufeld back in the early 90s. Mm-hmm. This is an offshoot. Based in LA, they partner with a local university, very good attorneys, but not the same.
Not affiliated with the Innocence Project. That's important.
So for Peterson, it's a lifeline. He had run out of his appeals. Once he was booted off of death row, one would think that's good news. For him, it was a double-edged sword. First of all, California doesn't kill anybody on death row, so he would have been better off there because the state was paying for his appeals. So he lost that. Petitions this LA Innocence Project, they say, let's go in. And they filed this almost 900-page, when they added the exhibits, motion. And now the judge who's been assigned the case is going through it piece by piece. Today's hearing should be relatively short. It's all about sealing the identity of people who have come forward who know what really happened.
Ooh.
According to the defense.
Yeah.
After, you remember when the strawberry shortcake, that juror was in the news?
Right.
Somebody reached out to the Peterson family and said, I know what happened. They sent a private eye up there, and they determined that there's maybe some there. They want the names of those people that they've been in contact with to be sealed, and that's what they're going to deal with today, to the point where they don't want the prosecution to know who they are because the people claim they're fearful of retribution from which is nonsense. I mean, the prosecution has to know who they are, so they know what they're dealing with.
Right.
So that'll be hashed out today in court, and then there are two more hearings dealing with the discovery. They want some discovery provided so that they can physically test for DNA, and a couple of unique things. Those will happen over the next couple months. Is this it's a complete long shot. But it's, if Lacey Peterson's DNA is in you mentioned one of the things is this van.
Yeah.
So there was a van found in the airport district, which is about a mile as the crow flies from the Modesto house of the Petersons. If this orange van has Lacey's DNA, it's over. He didn't do it.
There it is, the van.
And they want to test a piece of the carpet, the fiber there that was kept in evidence, and there was apparently a mattress, and they cut out a little swath of it, and they still have that. And the LA Innocence Project wants to test it. The big question is, are they going after this van because of one of these people who have come forward? That would be interesting. If one of these people say, hey, it's not the burglary.
Right.
It's that they were in an orange van.
The van.
Because the fire inspector, I know I'm going on and on, but...
No, I love it. Ted, I'm enthralled by the no. Please, keep going.
The fire inspector who was called to just deal with this van, which was on fire, had an uh-oh feeling at the time and has provided a declaration for the court now saying, I thought this had something to do with this missing woman. And when the Peterson defense team approached him, he opened his door and said, I've been waiting 20 years for someone to ask me about this because it was in the proximity. Somebody, in his opinion, was killed in the van or bled a lot.
Yeah.
Who is that person?
And that's why the van was set on fire. Ted,
Right.
you were the first reporter on the scene, near the home. Do you remember seeing this van anywhere in the neighborhood and all of your work and your travels?
So I was there the morning that this burglary supposedly took place. Across the street from the Peterson home. I was down the street a bit because we didn't want to, be right in front of the house at 6 in the morning. But, as we work in a story, we had nothing. All we had was a flyer. In fact, I mispronounced her name when I did my first report. We were looking for people. In a case like this, missing, beautiful, pregnant woman, you want to talk to neighbors.
Sure, you get your facts, gathering all the information.
We
right?
didn't see anybody, my photographer and I.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Could there have been a burglary going on right under our noses? I hope not, but it's possible. And this has come up over the years. It's a real contention because the defense believes that burglary took place before, when Lacey went missing on the 24th, not the 26th. That was the initial report.
Okay.
The investigators said that, no, it's actually the 26th, because that was the prevailing theory from the defense and Peterson's family. They think that she interrupted the burglary and that was her demise. That's a white van.
Great theory.
That's a different van entirely. But this orange van is kind of went under the radar during the ramp up to his case. Was never brought up by the defense.
Boy, that's interesting. In the white van, you do recall being there?
I do not.
You do not even that one, yeah.
The theory is that the defense says, well, if there was a white van there and people loading up, a burglary, then Ted and the media would have seen that van, and it's gone back and forth. I get a lot of hate mail for it.
Oh, nobody better send you hate mail.
Bottom line is, there's two prevailing theories for the defense. Either she interrupted the burglary, or these other people in the orange van somehow, for some reason,
kidnapped her and murdered her for some reason that's unknown. Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, Ted, this is juicy. I feel like you should write a book someday. You know this case better than anybody. You are really the leading authority on this case, period. End of story.
There are a couple of people out there, and one guy is actually writing a book who's part of the LA Innocence Project declaration. A guy by the name of Mike Gutschel, used to be an ABC producer.
Okay.
He's the one that found this fire inspector, et cetera, et cetera. So it's
sure. Ooh. Well, we'll leave it there for now. But again, today he's going to be in court remotely. We'll see what comes up. I'm sure, as you said, the judge is going to have a problem with them sealing off evidence and not turning it over to the other side.
Right.
So
I'm sure it'll be sealed to the public, but
the
state needs to know who these people are.